whether I'm going to get into trouble for saying this. Apparently, a take that song has been used by one of the contestants this Saturday night.
This week's show, Shane.
Shane. I didn't know whether I was allowed to say that or not.
Shane is going to be
exciting, isn't it? I wasn't, but I've done it now.
It's too late.
It's fine.
It's too late. Now, look, we've been given some more. Along that X Factor line, Bruce Davis in Sheffield wants to know, if Take That could take part in the X Factor, how far do you think they'd get?
Oh, first heat for us lot. We won't be there now, we're well ousted.
When you think back to that first day when you met, and that was that lovely story Robbie was telling about you and him, both with your mums going, Mum, he's alone now.
Yeah,
and you've all turned up. Jason, what was your first impression of everybody?
I think I said it on the documentary. I liked Howard and Mark straight away. Gary was...
Hey, come on.
I didn't dislike him, but he just seemed from another place, you know, from me.
What do you mean? Mars, or...?
Another planet.
I mean, Cheshire.
Cheshire, yeah.
Yeah, Cheshire, yeah.
Equivalent to another planet.
And I think Robbie, he just... I remember him having big feet, making silly faces, and being quite animated.
Not a lot's changed, really, with Robbie, has it?
He's still got huge feet, apparently.
Has he?
Yeah, massive.
Really?
Strange, that. But I think, and in terms of how you got to know each other as well, did you bond quite quickly? Were you suddenly aware that you were doing something quite different in terms of, you know, the pop scene at that time?
I remember, for me, that we all went to somewhere like, was it like British Home Stores or Boots or something, to a cafe after we'd finished rehearsals, and we sat down around this table and we said, hey, what we're going to do when we become a big band, what are you going to buy with all your money? You know, we're all young lads, and I think we're like, I'll get a Ferrari, or, you know, going through all those kind of things. And also on that same day, we said that when we get big, we have to finish when we're still on top.
Yeah, that's right.
From memory. We hadn't even broke or even heard a song.
That was your first meeting over a cup of tea in VHS?
Yeah, we decided what we're going to buy with our money, and we said we have to finish when we're still on top.
Well, and you did, really, didn't you? I mean, but that must have been a tough decision, wasn't it? Or did it just seem natural? How did it feel at the time?
What's this, the breakup?
Yeah.
Well, actually, we were all quite tired. You know, we've been on tour around the world and stuff a couple of times, and I was exhausted. Well, we all were. Gary wanted to go solo.
That's it, blame me. Always the way.
I think it felt... It was definitely the right time, but I think it takes some time afterwards for it to sink in. It kind of makes you think, oh, well, maybe it wasn't the right time, maybe we should be back together again. I mean, these were my thoughts, personally. It just didn't feel right for me. I said it again on the documentary, it didn't feel right for me that we had to split up then, because I felt like we had another few years in us. But there was always a risk of us, you know, going down, and we never ever wanted to do that. We always wanted to stay along.
So in hindsight, now you can look back, I mean, it's nearly 10 years later, you can look back, do you think it was the right time? Do you think you went out at the right point?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think we did, definitely. Yeah. And for that reason, we're back here 10 years later, able to celebrate it in a good way.
Do you find, is it a little frustrating that Robbie's not here, that you haven't been able to put clearly what was a situation that sort of grew through the band and stuff, particularly between you and Gary, because that's how the documentary was angled, that you haven't been able to put that to bed, you haven't got closure on that between the two of you?
Well, do you know what? We never even thought Robbie was going to be in the documentary, so we were really all delighted when he agreed to do it. To then agree to do all this, you know, being on TV with us, I think that was never going to happen. And I just think it was great that he was on it. And I think, even though, OK, we didn't get complete closure, I think we got some points cleared up, which was nice.
And the moment where, I mean, he acknowledged that he would swap the success that he's had as a solo artist for everything that you have with your, you know, got a wonderful house, got a beautiful family, 2 gorgeous children. I mean, it must be, I don't know whether satisfying is the right word, but the fact that he identifies that what you've got is a measure of success that he hadn't managed to achieve.
And I think until you have that, you don't know how precious it is. It was definitely, for me, coming from having a life like this, the most amazing thing. And of course, until you have children, you don't realise how brilliant it is. So,
I think, obviously, I'm really proud of Robbie's success. I'm really happy for him, but sometimes I think, from the things that he did say in the past, obviously he's sorry now, that he does need a child in his life. He needs a bit of stability.
Do you think that's the sort of thing that will offer him that sort of stability? That could help him get through this part of his life that he's... I mean, he's battled with the drugs and the drink, as we know.
I think so, yeah. I mean, I haven't spoke to Robbie in a long time, so it's really difficult for me to say that.
Try and fix him up with somebody else. What about any of your mates single?
I think that was nice about the documentary.
Mates.
The nice thing at the end about the documentary, I think, was looking at it objectively. You know, it almost moved away from Gary and Robbie, their problems, and looked at sort of the bigger picture of how life works or could work. Is it better to pursue a career and get really successful, or is it? You know,
absolutely.
Should family be the priority? It was a nice question, I thought, at the end.
It was brilliant. We're out of time, unfortunately. Tracy from Skegness, though, we'll take that. Be doing a reunion tour. If so, can you make it after February, as my baby's due then? I still think you're brilliant. Are you going to do anything together? Are you going to sing together?
We'll put it in after February, eh, boys?